My golly, good morning to you, everybody. This is Pappy Two Bears. As you can see, I'm sitting out here enjoying the teepee fire again on a late February day. Hoping the winter has been good to you so far, and inviting you to sit down here and just enjoy a little bit of time next to the fire and run a couple of thoughts across to you. This time of year, late February, knowing that spring is supposed to start next month, being an old farm boy that I am, I always found my thoughts around this time of year looking forward to spring and the planting season. And we used to love to sit back and look through the seed catalogs and see what we wanted to plant and start putting out plans about maybe what we'd put in the garden this year and what crops would be planted in what field and that sort of thing. And as I did that, it's always fun to do, because it kind of transports you in time into the future when you're actually doing those sort of things. And as I was thinking about that, I said, it kind of reminds me of what I also like to do in figuring out what do I want this year to accomplish for me. So let's talk about seed selection and those sort of things in relation to where your life is now and perhaps, where you'd like to see it in the future. When we look about the different types of seeds out there, we see all kinds of seeds that advertising says we should get this one, or this one is going to be special, or this one is just unique, and that sort of stuff. Well, life has a tendency to not operate under those particular terms. So sometimes we find that the best seed that we should have planted was not necessarily the most expensive one, or the one that everybody else is buying. So in order to figure out what it is that we want, we need to take stock of what it is that we already have. And if we already have enough of something, but we need more of another, then we might want to consider buying a different type of seed this year. I know that I have favorite plants that I like to grow in my garden. They're either easier for me or that I like them a lot, or different scenarios come in when I do a seed selection or plant selection of what I want to plant. And sometimes I'll end up with a lot of things that I really like a lot of, but not planting very much of something that I should have planted also. Or I might plant something and not plant enough of it, and maybe some of the plants don't do too well and they don't produce. And I found that to be pretty much the case in my decision-making process sometimes when, I'm looking about making plans about maybe what I'd like to do in the future or where I'd like my life to be in the future. So taking those things into consideration, I do like I used to do with my old garden plots. I lay everything out on a little piece of paper, so I have a tendency to want to put my thoughts down on a piece of paper where I can look at them and see if I can organize them a little bit better. And you can do the same thing with things that are going on in your life. If you write them down on things that are happening now, and then things about what you'd like to happen in the future or things that you'd like to change, then you can figure out the garden plot. Where do you want to plant certain things so that they can grow to the best advantage? How much do you want to plant? How much time do you want to devote to it? How much care are those seeds going to take to come to full growth? Are you going to be prepared to do the necessary weeding to keep them happy and the feeding, to keep the plants healthy? All of those things can relate directly into taking care of the things that need to happen in your life as well. There are plants need various different things to grow healthy. Obviously, they need to have a place to grow. They need to have the nutrients to grow. They need to have the care to grow. And they need to have the time that they need to come to full maturity. And that is no different than gardening for our own spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical well-being. The same principle can apply. So I invite you to open up the seed catalogs if you haven't done it already. Take a look at the seed selection. Take a look at the plants that you want to grow in your life. Take a look at what it's going to take care of them. And then you can see the field planted and growing. And just like a plant, it's got to take the time to mature. The best results usually happen when you've devoted a little bit of time and planning to it, and a little bit of thought to it. Okay? And once you've planted the seed and you've turned it over to the natural process of growth that takes place, then you have to practice patience. You have to practice perseverance in taking care of the plot, the protection of it. Same thing in problems that you might be having in your life, issues that you might be facing right now, challenges that come up, the sudden storms that come up that can threaten a garden crop, happens in our lives too. So we need to take necessary precautions sometimes to adjust things so that we can protect that which we're trying to grow and come into fruiting. It's kind of funny how different things can teach us something about something that seems to be unrelated. But in actuality, all things are related. If you look at all things as a teaching opportunity, or as a learning opportunity, or as a remembering opportunity, then you can see how you can apply them in your lives. I want everyone to have a great crop. We're going to be having to pull some weeds, though. Sometimes we have to get on our hands and knees and get ourselves dirty. But many times we can sit back and rubbing our aching backs and stuff after we've done the work and just take great pride in that which is happening. And I want that in your lives as well. Oops, I'm sorry. I hit the camera here by mistake. So, like anything else in life, what you devote your thoughts to is where you're sending your energy. And when you send energy out on your thoughts with intent, growth can happen. Prepare the soil. Select the seeds that you want to plant. Plant them. Seeds don't grow if they're left in the package. And then take care of them. Once you've made the commitment of planting the seeds, don't forget about them. Come back and check on them from time to time and give them the care that they need. Whether that seed is planted for your emotional well-being, for your physical health, for your spiritual awakening and awareness, for your mental acuity. I hope all of your seeds sprout. This is Pappy Two Bears, looking forward to planting season, when the winter is behind us and the new growth starts. Praying for wonderful growth in your new year. Can't wait to see the bumper crops some of you harvest. Come back again. We'll light the fire, we'll sit and we'll chit-chat. I enjoy having you here, and thanks for the company. Blessings all.